I mean that wholeheartedly.
It's local trains.
Local trains,
It's Sunday. Why would you ever have
Is that famous YouTuber Brendan React?
Well, I mean, every word you just said was wrong.
Big Q in the big city.
YouTube can be a stressful atmosphere to be a part of. Sure, it's gratifying to release videos that do well, but the need to create a constant flow of success often puts me on edge. It can be hard to work on videos never knowing if my hard work is actually going to be rewarded, and it's a common occurrence for me to hyper-analyze everything I do to the extent that I rarely get much work done at all. And that is partially why I decided to take a vacation. My trip to New York was a shot at getting away and trying to enjoy myself for once. And that went... So imagine this. I've just stepped off my plane at JFK Airport. I've been up for well over 24 hours at this point, having continued to work on videos until just before my flight, and I'm frankly disoriented beyond belief. I successfully am able to figure out where the air train is, and after a few swapped vehicles, I finally find the one headed to Manhattan. To put it short, I'm sore, I'm tired, and I desperately want to just tune out. That despite everything that's gone wrong, despite at how little I'm succeeding in actually unwinding and giving myself a break, and despite how confusing this entire experience is proving to be, after all these years, I'm finally here. New York, the land where dreams supposedly come true. The place I've wanted to go to since the 5th grade. The place where I once thought I'd be going to college and making films. Sure, it's been a long ride, but I'm here. I've done it. And really, in the end, that's all
You're standing in piss.
Fuck! New York is a little bit like an overcrowded Discord server. Sure, there's a lot of good reasons to check it out and even to stay, but there are also rampant issues caused exclusively by the inherent popularity of the location. But, interestingly enough, after a few days of allowing myself to breathe in the atmosphere, I started to understand why some people prefer to live at a place like New York. I had so many terrible encounters in New York with horrible, shitty people that I stopped even thinking about them. By all accounts, this is a place that should have left me constantly on edge. But instead, I stopped seeing these encounters as even something worth dedicating to memory, and that was cathartic. So there's this trend that I noticed while I was staying there. It seems to me that most people who live in Manhattan can't actually afford it. A lot of people go to New York City to achieve some sort of purpose, aspirations which mostly consist of making money off of other people who also can't afford to live there, or gaining enough connections or experience in New York that they can achieve their dreams elsewhere. It's a funny idea that if people just stopped coming to New York out of fear that they couldn't afford it, then the people making a living off of people frivolously coming to New York also wouldn't be able to afford to live there, and then I guess no one would be able to afford to live in New York. Except for Jay-Z, I guess. Commenting on a complicated place like New York after having visited for only 7 or 8 days is pretty much next to impossible. It's certainly different from small-town life. The people are a little meaner, the pace is a little faster, you stop analyzing faces after a while, but it's a culture that can't be condensed and strawmanned into any experiences that I happened to have while I was there. So just imagine the rest of this video as less of a judicious analysis of a culture, and more of me just flicking through a slideshow of stuff that I did during my vacation.
Okay, I think this is it.
Okay, so what's the significance here?
Okay, so this is West 67th Columbus.
Right.
Which means, and we're on the right side of the road, even though the sign's not here. I mean, I know it's not all accurate, but which means this is Vanessa's flower shop from B-Movie. This would be right here, because the signs are accurate enough. This would be the spot.
I guess those are flowers if you try hard enough.
Yeah. I mean, this is it. Pretty cool, huh?
Okay, what are we doing here?
I don't know, I just thought we'd look at it. It's Vanessa's flower shop from B-Movie. This is where it'd be if you, like, opened a portal or whatever.
And this was how high on your list of priorities?
I don't know, like top 4 or 5? It's pretty interesting, right?
Right, yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Alright.
The one thing that people don't tell you about New York is that most of the recommended activities revolve around eating. So you'll go somewhere nice that's been hyped up by your friends, and it's great. But then you get out of that place and you'll realize that you have nothing to do until dinner. Hey Google, what should I do now?
You could get a burger. The burgers in New York are really, really good, dude.
Wait. This is an iPhone. So around the third day of being in New York, I went to this place called Print Street Pizza, where I got a Sicilian slice. And that was the best pizza that I had ever had in my entire life. The next day, I went to a place called Two Boots Pizza in Williamsburg, and that was the best pizza I've ever had in my entire life. I think that's a pretty reliable representation of the quality of New York food. It's so incredible that you can have your standard for food entirely uplifted and reset, only for the same thing to happen the next day. It's pretty good. One of the things that shocked me about New York is how nice their McDonald's apparently are. Like, why? I guess the food in New York is so great with such variety that if McDonald's didn't at least try to up their game, they'd just be beat out by small-handed competition. I can't wait for New York to get a Waffle House. That'll be a sight. You'll walk in the front doors, they'll be boiling lobster. Okay, so as I was recording this, I decided to actually Google New York Waffle House. Is this even a Waffle House? I don't think it fits those standards. Oh my god. But yeah, I did stuff in New York other than eat. Lucky for me.
Are you excited for Times Square? You amped?
I don't know.
No?
It's just like, it seemed like Times Square was just like someone put on a bunch of TVs they didn't want and it kept growing.
Make a quip. Make a quip. That's what your fans need.
Aren't ads just annoying? Aren't ads annoying?
Yes. Wow, that was revelatory.
Can I just say, people are annoyed when like my camera has a dead pixel. Look at that.
I went to all the big locations. I saw the Empire State Building from the outside. I walked into the Met, found out it cost money starting that day. I walked out of the Met. I walked by the Statue of Liberty once.
There it is. There it goes. Okay.
I saw Imagine, a sacred memorial dedicated to an artist that was killed in New York. And I also went to the Museum of the Moving Image, a sacred memorial to a political movement which went really, really, really super badly.
Us! He will not us! Us! He will not divide us!
This is the stupidest thing I've ever done.
Nah, but the Museum of the Moving Image is unironically awesome. You should really check it out if you get the chance. I'm just gonna let footage of it play for a minute. Yeah. I feel like everyone who goes to New York will end up finding one really obscure thing that they end up loving, but no one else has heard of. And for me, that was Gulliver's Gate, which is this beautiful little place on 44th Street that is filled with miniature versions of various cities and iconic locations. It was just fantastic seeing how they brought these places to life, and finding all of these little Easter eggs that they had snuck into the place really made it so much more special.
What? What?
You could tell that they had put so much work into this, and the result is truly magnificent. But of course, it's nothing compared to the real thing. Easily the most outstanding and mind-shattering moment of my vacation came when I visited the peak of the Rockefeller Center. As one might imagine, this lends an awe-inspiring view of the surrounding landscape. To be totally honest with you, looking at footage of this after the fact actually leaves me with a more clear understanding of what I'm looking at. To look at a photo of a bunch of buildings and understand what they represent is easy. But to actually be there, to see these fantastical skyscrapers, to be forced to acknowledge that I am staring down at millions of lives happening at once, well, I just found it impossible. It felt more like a surreal 3D painting. The feeling you get when you look at a cloud. It's there, but to you it's just scenery, just a part of the background. Although perhaps that's just the impression I got because of the tourists surrounding me.
Someone's being married.
Surely not.
Right there.
Oh. How much did this cost?
Maybe they didn't ask. That's nice.
Yeah!
Despite all of what I've said, I can easily say that my favorite part of New York was Central Park. Why? Well, it was nice. I have no complex analysis, no witty commentary. It's just a beautiful place. It was the perfect spot to just sit down and gather my thoughts for as long as I felt like it. Peace and serenity are truly things that can't be easily dictated to prose, nor spoken off the cuff. But without them, life would be without context.
That squirrel has made a very bad choice.
It might seem like the details of this vacation are scarce and muddled. And yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. Literally on the final day that I was there, I just walked from 10th Street to 114th Street. It was nice, but it's hardly anything deliberately exciting. On that note, I can honestly say that I left New York feeling refreshed and a lot more confident about both my understanding of people and how I viewed myself as a person. I want to go out of my way to thank a close and personal friend of mine who was there for me during this trip. I'm of course talking about John the Hot Wheel. Remember him from the VidCon video? Yeah, I brought him to New York. I had a bit planned in my head, but I never filmed it. So all this got me was weird looks in the security line. Seriously though, a big thanks to my old friend Austin, who showed me around and gave me a lot of tips about what to do in my spare time. The fact that I was able to figure out anything about what I was supposed to be doing in this city is basically entirely thanks to this man. It honestly really meant a lot. And one last thing. The best experience I had in New York, without a doubt, was when I organized a meetup with fans in the surrounding area. I filmed some of that meetup, and personally I think there's no better way to end this video, but with the very people who make this channel possible in the first place.
These are my fans.
He's I mean that wholeheartedly. It's local trains.
Local trains,
It's Sunday. Why would you ever have
Is that famous YouTuber Brendan React?
Well, I mean, every word you just said was wrong. Yeah. So, are you one of? I have a sign. Oh, we want today. What's your name?
Name's Elvis.
Elvis. And you said you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What is it?
King of the Void.
King of the Void. Elvis.
Yeah.
King of the Void.
Is that Tetsuya Nomura's latest creation?
Oh boy.
I don't have
Where the shit landed?
We need to figure out which one of these birds is responsible.
You know what? Let's not stand under a tree. That's my plan.
That's just my dad calling.
So your dad wants to meet me? He just wants to make sure I'm not a serial killer,
He's the
right?
actual thing.
Pretty much. Don't join the Quinton Reviews cult. What's your favorite video? It's so nice to hear people say that their favorite videos are the ones I've done recently.
That's the hospital. That's like how I
Matt
found the
Hobbs.
channel.
I would potentially agree. The what?
Predictive programming, starting with like the Simpsons video.
Oh yeah, I'm really proud of those. Oh, are you one of my fans?
Yes.
Wow.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are you? Hello.
Hey, look, I'm gonna give you something really, really nice for you. All right.
Good.
I'm a friend in South Korea. She lost her life.
Please don't edit
because
this
she
out.
wasn't able to practice freedom of belief.
Yeah.
So what we're running around doing right now is trying to get 1,000 signatures by tonight.
Name, age, gender, city, New York, country,
Okay.
Should I get your personal information on camera?
Yeah, my social security.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Quite the experience.
What is fitting?
Yeah, Quinton, explain who you are.
It's a movie that got canceled. It's because it's on the sign. I thought someone had put it in your.
No, it's because the sign.
Oh, okay. I was a little
I
confused by that. 'Cause I was actually happy that was a protest because I thought they were all fans, and I was like, that's too many people. We're calling this off.
I shouldn't have said where I was. Should have kept it a mystery.
So we were talking about favorite videos.
Doctor Who. The Doctor Who videos.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, the Fallen Titan series. Although it physically hurt to see Watchmen torn apart.
I agree.
I will hurt you. Time for some drama videos. Let's go.
Yo, Quinton, when's your boxing match?
When's my boxing? I was invited to a boxing match by someone. Did you see this? They made like an ad. Yeah, and I was like, oh.
I want to see you versus Matt Bad. I want to see
Quinton Reviews versus Matt.
over-hulking giant just try to fight a pencil.
I don't know. I feel like he'd be like really slippery.
Well, he's used to just like skipping out on like having I don't know, there's some joke there.
You're throwing criticism at him, and he's just like,
oh, fun fact. You might be expecting me to explain that point.
I hope this is it, by the way. I feel like more than this would be insane. This is how I feel about Discord, by the way. The moment anyone has to leave, tell me, and we'll take the photos.
I'm not leaving.
That's nice. That's what I want to hear.
I'm never leaving.
I hope you have room in your trunk.
Like, we want Finneting to...
We really do. Right.
Do you know what I love about this? If I don't have room for this, I get a free ruler anyways. You're gonna really regret giving this to me once you run out of rulers. I can feel my leg.
You want chapstick?
Oh, sure.
Reach into my right pocket.
No. Like, how did Matt Hoss used to be like, you will see when it comes through this lawsuit. And that will be when I
It's like, dude, it's like when Trump tries to give like a president's speech.
You know how he has Trump steaks? I want him to advertise his own stuff.
In the middle of campaign speeches. We will make America great again, starting with Trump steak.
We need to
available at low prices.
When it comes to China, we need to be hard, unlike the Trump steak, which melts in your mouth.
I like the idea of him describing steak like cotton candy. It is soft and gooey.
Like melodic.
Oh, Lincoln is judging us for all these conversations.
That's like I didn't reunite the country for this.
That's not how that works. Both of them are red, and it's all.
Those are stoplights.
But those, yeah. But why is that? They're just. But I still got one red.
Why are these UFOs? Quinton review is more like Quinton relives his childhood.
Oh my God, Bill and Ted.
Listen, dude.
He's a weeb.
Listen,
He's a weeb. He's already like taking a full swig of the fruit punch at this
Oh God.
People walk into my room, they know what's up.
Yeah, you know what? Live your truth, man.
You know what? In short, the fan meetup has gone well.
$24.99. Wow, it's worth that.
I love Harrison Ford's face because when you look at it, you can just hear him like being annoyed during an interview. Why the hell do I gotta do this? Jesus Christ!
What, are you gonna help me pay my bills, assholes?
This looks creepy as hell.
That can only be bad things. Oh, Quinton, look at the side. Look at the picture on the side, please.
All right.
You know how Brad Stalls.
This is like the end of Indiana Jones, where our faces are gonna melt off.
Oh.
No, we're done.
All right. That's all you need.
Let's turn it off, I guess.